Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, where we're watching this video from. My name is Vidobin Gozika. I do videos on accounting, tutorials, motivation, and spirituality. But today we'll be talking about sales books, so we're focused on accounting today. So if it's something you like, kindly consider subscribing. Alrighty, let's jump in right into what we have today. Today we're talking about sales day book. Now, in our previous class, I talked about prime books of accounts. I introduced the prime books of accounts, one of which sales day book is that prime book of accounts. And when you say prime books, it means where you write your transaction the very first time from your source documents. There's a flow in recording your accounting transaction, and that flow I'll give you in brief. First of all, you have your source documents. That is the first flow of the transactions to be recorded in your business. From your source documents, you now have your primary books of accounts, your prime books of account, which are also known as your journal entries. From there, those transactions in the prime books would now be transferred in a summarized manner to your books of final entry, which is your ledger. So that is the flow of recording accounting transactions. So today we're talking about prime books, and the first prime book we're discussing today is your sales day book. Now, what is your sales day book? A sales day book, like the name suggests, sales day book is a book where you record your credit sales. Every credit transaction, credit sales in particular, they are recorded in your sales day book. Are we together? Now, you record your sales transaction that are on credit. The information you're going to record, you're going to get it from your source document, and the source document is your sales invoice. Now, what are source documents? Let me give you an intro. Let me tell you what source documents are. Source documents are the documents that has the original information. They are where you get your information from. Source, where you're getting your information from, that's what your source document is. Example, things like your receipt, your invoice, those are your source documents. So you write your information in the sales day book from your source document. It's not from the thin air. You just don't think of something and write in your source document or your sales day book. No, it must come from a source. And where is that source? That source is your source document. And in the case of your sales day book, it's as a result of a sales that must have occurred in your business. So let me give us a live example. If, for instance, I sell baby food items, okay, packaged like baby food, naan, Cerelac, and a whole lot of food items that are sold for babies, including things like Pampers. And then Madam BC comes to my shop and say, Madam, longest time, how have you been? I want to buy some Pampers today from you. I'll say, how is baby? You say, fine. Okay. Now I want to buy like 10 Pampers from you. But I don't have enough money, you. I can pay for 5 now, and then I'll pay the remaining 5 later. I was okay, madam. You know that this business transaction, this our relationship, customer and buyer, you don't pay. Based on that relationship, I will give you the remaining products on credit. Now, mind you, before you give products on credit or goods on credit, it should be someone that you have a relationship with. When I say relationship, I mean business relationship. Is a loyal customer, a customer that is credit worthy. You don't just start a business for the very first time and then you give your goods on credit. My dear, if you're unfortunate, you might not see those customers again and you begin to make losses. Or they'll promise and they will not pay you, they will not pay you. So before you engage yourself in credit selling, let it be on customers that are credit worthy. Customers that you have a long standing relationship with, that you believe, you have faith that they will pay you the money that they are owing you, and that is because they have been your customer. You must have known them for a very long time, possibly their families, or you know where they live. There must be some kind of substance on the basis on which you're going to give your credit to your goods on credit. Don't just give your goods on credit any Tom, Dick, and Harry. All right, back to our sales day book. So, like I was saying, Mr. Badambisi came and I'm intending to give her five of the Pampers on credit out of the 10. Now, because I'm giving her five products, five Pampers on credit, these five Pampers are recorded in my sales day book. Why? Because they are credit sales. While the other one that she's paying cash will be paid in another day book, which is known as your cash book. We'll talk about that in our next class, but let me just brief first on what it's about since we're talking about a sales transaction. So when you have sales and the person is paying instantly and you have it, that's the cash sales. Now for cash sales, you record them in your cash book. A cash book is where you record cash transaction, be it cash sales, be it cash purchases. As long as cash is being involved and your goods are going to be exchanged, either you're receiving or thereabout, you're going to record the transaction in your cash day book. So if I were to record, in fact, not if I were, I will be recording this transaction that's occurred in two books. The sales day book, where I record goods that are being sold on credit, five for the Pampers, and my cash book, where I record the remaining five that are being sold by and she's paying cash. Now, back to the introductory class of our sales day book. Now, sales day book, you record transactions that are done on transaction, sales transaction, credit sales transaction, and they are recorded in an orderly manner. Back to my example, Madam Bisi came and I sold 10 Pampers to her. Let's say that transaction occurred on the 1st of January 2025. Now on the 2nd of January, Toyosi came to me and said, Madam, I want to buy some NAM products from you, but I don't have cash. I was like, Toyosi, I know you for a very long time. For about 5 years, you've been doing business together. For that reason, I'll give you these 5 NAN baby food on credit, trusting you will pay me my money. She said, Madam, no worry, I trust. I said, okay, no problem. Now on the 3rd day, Mr. Bola came to my shop and said, madam, I want to buy baby Cyrillac for my baby. I'll say how many. Say I want to buy like 10 packs, but I don't have cash. I have cash for 4. I don't have cash for 6. I'll say, okay, no problem, Mr. Bola, I know you. Now, all those customers that I'm agreeing to give the credit sales to, they are customers that I know. Now, when recording this sales transaction, the first transaction that I recorded in my sales with the transaction that was made on the 1st of January, you cannot record, and it is not appropriate, even if you decide to record a transaction that occurred on the 3rd of January as your first transaction, and then record maybe the 2nd of January, the 2nd day, and the third and then the third line being a transaction that occurred on the 1st day. That is very wrong. Sales day book transactions are recorded in a chronological manner, in an orderly manner. So the transaction that occurred on the 1st day will be the first sales transaction that I'll record. The first credit sales transaction I'll record. The one that happened on the 2nd, which is to Toyosi, will be recorded secondly, and then the last one I made that transfer between I and Mr. Bola will be the last transaction I'm going to record. That is how you use your sales day book. You record credit sales in an orderly manner. And at the point of selling this product, for product that I sold on credit, as in the case of Mr. Bola and Madam and the first customer, where I had to give 5 Pampers on credit to her, I'll be recording those transactions in my invoice. Now, when a customer comes to you and it is established that they'll not be paying you with cash, you record those transactions in your invoice. Sales invoice is the name of the book where you record. Sales invoice is the name of the source document where you record this transaction. So you get your sales invoice, record the transaction that occurred. There should be a column. Every invoice have a column for dates, name of customer, quantity purchased, and the amount. So my sales invoice is going to have the date 1st of January 2025. Now under the description, I will have 5 packs of Pampers at 10,000 naira. That's the cost of one Pampers currently. That's if you give me how much? 50,000 naira. On that quantity, I'll write 5. There's a place for me to sign as the person who sold the product. There's a place for the customer to sign. Customer will also sign that yes. Now, when you sign your source document, it's an acknowledgement that truly this transaction occurred. Do not issue your sales invoice without it being signed. The customer must, and that is what is binding that customer. Should in case for whatever reason that customer faults, you could take that document if you want to really take the case further. And a lawyer will ask you, where is the evidence of the transaction that occurred? Is that sales invoice you will show him and say, barrister, this is the contract that I had with Mr. Adeyisi, as the case may be, sale of baby products. Because her signature is there, it is binding. That is what will convince that particular barrister that yes, this transaction occurred. So do not issue out sales invoice without it being signed. It must be signed by both you and then the customer. Now, when you've written your information in your sales invoice, that is the source document from which you're going to get information to now transfer into your sales day book. Hope we're together. All right. Now, this information in my sales invoice, I would now transfer it to my sales day book. I'll be showing you the format of what your sales day book looks like. Now, the format of a sales day book have about 4 columns. The first column have what? The date. The date is very important. That's the date the transaction occurred. The second, we have what we call particulars. When we say particulars, it means the description of what transpired. The name of the customer will be there. The quantity, if there is a discount, it will be stated there. And then the last, and you now have your sales invoice number, as the case may be. It be purchase invoice number. In this case, you have your sales invoice number because you're talking about sales day book. And then we now have the last column where you have the amount, which is total cost. So in the case of my first customer, I sold 5 Pampers to her on credit at the rate of 10,000 naira each. So that will be 5 times 10,000 naira, and that will give me 50,000 naira. I'll record the transaction in my sales day book. So this is how you record transaction in your sales day book. First of all, the transaction will be got from your source documents, and that document is being written at the point of actual sales. Then you now transfer that information to your sales day book. Are we together? Now that's how I'm going to record the transaction. That was recorded with my first customer, and then with the second customer, as the case may be, Madam Bola, and then the second customer, and the last person, Mr. Bola. So you record the transaction in that orderly manner in your sales day book. Now, one might ask, what are the benefits of using a sales day book? One very important benefit of using your sales day book is that it enables you to keep track of the goods you sold on credit. See, you cannot keep every transaction that occurred in your business in your head, and that is why you must record it. If you don't have any record of what you're doing, you're as good as, I don't want to be, let me just comment my reserve, but you cannot determine the performance of your business if you don't keep record of a transaction. You cannot keep everything in your head. That record is what will guide you. It's what will make you know, okay, I sold X amount of goods. I sold some on credit. I gave a discount. You must record the transaction. You just have to record because that is your business. You want to make profit. If you don't have a record, how can you now say, okay, I'm making profit or not? But the fact you're having cash in your daily transaction doesn't mean you're making profit. It's when you have kept accurate record of all this transaction, you will now analyze it, and then from your income statement, you will now say whether I'm making profit or not. So record keeping is extremely important. Are we together? So for us to know the list of those that are owing us money, the list of our debtors, to pursue them and to also keep track of them, you need your sales day book. Another very important reason why you need your sales day book is that it helps you save time. Normally, recording transaction is not very easy, but if you have, especially when you have a lot of transactions to record. Now, if you want to know the number of customers that are owing you, and you have like say 1,000 customers, because you have a sales day book, it will be easy for you to just go and pick up that day book, that particular book for sales, transaction, and credit, and you will now see those that are owing you. But if you have one book, and in that book you write purchases, you write sales, you write invoice, you write sale of assets, you write all that happened in your business in one book, you'll be it will be extremely tedious for you to extract those that you sold goods on credit to. Another very important reason why you must keep your sales book is that is where the sales account is going to get its information from. There is a flow of information, like I said earlier, from your source document to your prime books and to your final entry. The final entry for your sales day book is your sales account. That is where you're going to record all the sales that has occurred on a summary manner, in a summarized manner, into your sales account. So these are the reasons why you need a sales day book. Anybody starting a business must have a sales day book. You should be able to keep record of your transactions that happens in your business, so that you can say, yes, I'm making profit, or no, I'm not making profit. This is where we'll stop for today's class. I believe we now know what a sales day book is. We now know how to prepare one. We know its importance. Kindly consider subscribing to my channel to get more informative knowledge on how to keep your small business, on how to be a small accountant. When I mean small, I don't mean in a bad way, but maybe you're just an upcoming accountant. Are we together? How to be a good business study student. These are things you'll be reading while doing your business studies or in commerce. You will be asked all these things. So if you have a thorough knowledge of it, you will not be confused. I hope we have enjoyed your time here. I wish us all a very beautiful and a blessed day. Remain blessed. See you at the top. And don't forget to watch out for my next video. In fact, in my next class, I'll be talking about our purchase day book.